Let's begin by logging into the Foglight console and navigating to the Global View Databases dashboard. In the dashboard, we have a MySQL agent already being monitored by Foglight. Select the checkbox next to that MySQL agent and then click Settings and Administration. This brings us to the MySQL Agent Administration panel. Let's choose the SQL Performance Investigator entry to bring us to the screen to configure the PI repository. In the top panel, we can see that no SQL PI repository has yet been attached to this agent manager. Let's click the entry No SQL PI repository attached. A pop-up will appear to explain the functionality with details about the product. Click the Accept button to continue the configuration. On this next screen, we see that the agent manager hosts available to add the SQL PI repository agents to and the associated SQL PI repository server. When more than one agent manager is connected, then multiple rows are shown. Click the radio button and then click the Apply button. For this next pop-up, we will enter the connection details for the SQL Server instance that will be used for the repository. If a repository were already associated on this FGLAM or other agents were configured, then these fields would not be editable. Enter in the connection details including the server name, port, and login information. The connection type can be either SQL Server or Active Directory authentication. Click the Next button once this is complete. On this next screen, we will enter in the SQL PI schema details. Since this will be a new install, we will use the radio button to create a new PI repository database. We will use the default database name as well as the primary file group and transaction log locations. These can optionally be changed. We must also add the name of a folder on the SQL Server where raw 1-minute data will be written. Had a SQL Server repository database for MySQL agents already existed, we could have alternatively used the second radio button and choose from a pull-down of databases. Each monitored agent type, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, and SQL Server Analysis Services, would use a different database in the repository instance. Once this panel is complete, click the Finish button. In the next panel, a validation pop-up appears to confirm that the new database should be created. Click the OK button to proceed. The new PI database and schema has been created. Let's select a checkbox for the database agent or multiple agents if more than one is present, and click the Enable button. The PI agents are created and the database agent is associated with the PI repository. Once the process is complete, the red checkmark turns to green to indicate that that database agent has been associated with the PI repository. Let's return to the Global View Databases dashboard using the breadcrumb trail at the top of the page. After a few minutes, the SQL PI icon will be displayed for the agent in the dashboard, and SQL PI will be available for the agent.